boys, I'm the Chosen Nerd, and well, Star Wars The Force Awakens has been out for about a month now. I've only seen it like 30 times, and well, it's good. However, it really could have used some more space politics, maybe a little more Trade Federation and negotiations. Not enough Jar Jar either. No, but in all seriousness, I've been impatiently waiting for this movie for like 3 years, and I'm very happy to say that it does indeed live up to the hype. And yeah, I know, every YouTube reviewer has already reviewed this movie like 3 weeks ago, but I'm lazier than them, so shut up. If you want decent, on-time reviews, then go watch Jeremy Johns or Chris Stuckman, or yeah, one of those. Stay here if you want to deal with my crap. But before reviewing the movie, I'd like to talk about something that I'm sure you've all experienced.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Tonight I want to talk to you on a subject of deep concern to all Americans and to many people in all parts of the world.
Said something
the war
I
in
won't
Vietnam.
ever forget.
I believe that one of the reasons for the deep division about Vietnam is that many Americans have lost confidence in what their government has told them about our policies. The American people cannot.
Spoilers. Before seeing this movie, I made sure that I watched only the first 3 trailers, and after that I stopped. No TV spots, no clips. I even stopped going on social media for a while. I wanted to know absolutely nothing about this movie before seeing it, and I was pretty successful. I knew almost nothing about the movie, but then I went to school the day after the premiere. Apparently, according to everyone at school, there were spoilers all over the internet, which I expected. But what I didn't expect was for the people at school to repeat what spoilers they saw. Like, I avoid spoilers everywhere. YouTube, TV, movie theaters, social media. And then I go to school and people are just like, Yoda starts a freaking reaction YouTube channel at the end of the movie. Except, you know, they would say actual spoilers, which is much worse than what I just said. And to make it worse, they excuse ruining the movie for others by claiming, it's a meme. No? Even if spoiling the movie is a meme, you're still spoiling the movie. You can't just be like, Princess Leia is C-3PO's uncle. Dude, stop spoiling the movie. Nah, chill fam, it's just a meme, bro. I'm pranked. Ha! Got him. That doesn't justify the fact that you just spoiled the movie for no reason at all. And if you're one of those morons who post spoilers on comment sections and social media for no reason, then stop. You're not being funny or like a good troll or anything. You're just a fat, hairy butt. No one likes fat, hairy butts. Some people might. But that none of my business. So if you hear a spoiler, man, don't succumb to the dark side. Keep it to yourself. Luckily, even if you do get the movie spoiled for you, it is still completely and utterly fantastic. The soundtrack, just like all the other Star Wars films, is composed by John Williams and is, of course, really good. I wouldn't say it's as good as some of the other Star Wars soundtracks, and it doesn't have as many memorable songs. Like, I mean, it's pretty easy to remember the Imperial March. Da 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 da. Da 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 da, or the Binary Sunset song from Episode 4. Do 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 Duel of the Fates. even, Jedi Rocks? What the heck is Jedi Rocks? Why, George? Why? But songs in the new soundtrack, like, say, The Falcon, are really good in the movie, but they're not really as catchy or memorable. I don't remember it at all. In fact, the only really memorable songs are Rey's theme and the Jedi Steps. But the soundtrack overall is like 20 times better than any other modern soundtrack released in the past few years, so I can't really complain. The acting in this movie is incredible as well. I mean, it's much better than Hayden Christensen or everyone in A New Hope.
Take these two over to the garage, will you? I want them cleaned up before dinner.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
While Carrie Fisher, who looks pretty good despite her age and, you know. And Harrison Ford did great as Leia and Han. The real standouts were the new cast. Daisy Ridley as Rey, John Boyega as Finn, Oscar Isaac as Poe, and Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. You know, I find it really funny when I see people who are like, finally, a Star Wars movie with a strong, independent female lead. It's about time.
What the hell are you doing?
Somebody has to save our skins.
Just try it out.
We don't need any of your help.
Rey was a really, really awesome character, and probably my favorite character in the movie, but I just get a little annoyed when people get all excited about a female doing cool stuff in Star Wars, when that's already been happening for about 30 years now. I was actually surprised by Harrison Ford's performance, because I know that he really doesn't get the obsession with Star Wars, and probably wasn't very excited about doing this movie. I mean, when you sign up for a movie this big, you're also signing up for hundreds of interviews and guest appearances on talk shows leading up to the release of the film. Pretty much all of the cast at least made it seem like they wanted to be in these interviews, but Ford just always seemed like he wanted to punch the interviewer in the face.
Did you shoot Greedo first, or did Greedo shoot you first?
I don't care.
But in the movie, Ford actually delivered a solid performance when he could have easily just phoned it in. And while Boyega, Driver, and Isaac all did really well, it's pretty impressive that this is Ridley's first full-length movie. Oh, Daisy, how is your acting career going? Did you get any roles yet? Yeah, I was in a short film and I played the main... I played the main character in a little movie called, I don't know, Star Wars?
Daisy, if you're watching this, I love you.
But it seems like half the internet loves you too, so.
It's a very odd thing watching myself for the first time properly and seeing all...
But the characters in this movie are not only acted really well, they're also pretty fleshed out. I mean, there were some characters that really did nothing, like Captain Phasma, and Poe, even though he's likable right away, he still could have had more character development. Also, the marketing team was shoving BB-8 down our throats like crazy, but I'm happy to say that he is very likable, which is good because I already spent $100-something on this BB-8 Sphero thing. It's pretty cool. Come check it out. Alright guys, so I've got my BB-8 right here. I've got my phone, which is the controls. So let's give this baby a roll, shall we? Alright. Oh god. Oh my. No. He's sort of the comic relief in the movie for kids, but in a good way. He's not like stepping in poop or anything. Don't worry. That leads me right into my next topic, which is how this movie has a lot more humor in it than any other Star Wars movie, but it actually works. However, even though the response to this movie has been overwhelmingly positive, I have seen a lot of people disappointed, and it's pretty easy to pinpoint why they're disappointed. They overhyped it. Like, yeah, I've been excited for Star Wars, obviously, but I know that's just a movie, and there's a chance of it not being good. But there's people who have been raising their expectations so high that it's impossible for the movie to surpass them. So before you go into this movie, just remember the golden rule. Hype ruins everything. It's not the second coming of Jesus Christ, it's just a fun space action adventure movie. However, like any movie, it's not without its flaws, and as a reviewer, I would be failing to do my duty if I didn't discuss those flaws. Unfortunately, to explain these flaws, I'm gonna have to go into some spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, I highly suggest you leave now. I'll give you a few seconds. Yum yum. Okay, so if you're still here, then either you've seen the movie or you just don't care about spoilers. Either way, let us get back to the review. So in the movie, there's this one character named Supreme Leader Snoke, who's basically going to be the emperor of this new trilogy. Unfortunately, the scenes with this character are some of the weakest scenes in the film, since he basically looks like a big cartoon. I mean, his design is pretty cool, but there's hardly any mystery or intrigue with his character. In the original trilogy, we didn't get a really good look at the Emperor until the end of episode 6. This shrouded his character in mystery and made him seem like more of a threat. Even though we still know nothing about Snoke, we've already seen him in his entirety, and for me at least, that takes away from the fear we could have had of his character. Also, there was this character named Maz, who was a pretty good character and entertaining to watch, but again, she looked a little too, well, fake. Both Snoke and Maz were motion capture, and I'm not against motion capture or anything, it's just that in this film, everything was dirty and gritty like the originals. But these two characters were really, I don't know, clean looking? Another problem with this movie is that it's a little too similar to A New Hope. I know this bothered a lot of people, but for me, the only times it really bothered me was how, just like in A New Hope, every character wants some sort of information from the droid, and how there was basically another Death Star at the end of the movie and they blew it up the exact same way. However, the film was a little self-aware of these similarities. Like in the scene where they're planning to blow up the Star Killer, Han Solo says something along the lines of, "So it's another Death Star." But the Resistance people, or whatever they're called, are like, "No, this was the Death Star. This is the Star Killer. So it's bigger. How do we blow it up?" I'm not saying the self-awareness justifies the unoriginality of the movie, since Jurassic World did this exact same thing, and it wasn't justified in that movie either. Anyway, even though the plot was really similar, it didn't ruin the movie for me at all. Then there's the people that are like in denial that it's good and just nitpick everything. Like, some people are complaining about the science of the movie. If you walk out of a Star Wars movie and say, that wasn't very scientifically accurate, and continue to find everything that didn't make scientific sense, either you're cinema sins or you just don't understand the point of Star Wars. I've seen complaints about how Kylo Ren's face wasn't scary enough. I don't really know what people wanted from him, but based on what I've read on angry comment sections, they basically wanted a Darth Vader 2.0. I, for one, was very satisfied with his character, and I was pretty relieved that he wasn't just a Darth Vader ripoff. I mean, he wants to be a Darth Vader ripoff, which to me is what makes his character so interesting. He's basically just a Vader fanboy who will, in all honesty, probably never be as powerful in the dark side as Vader, which I find really cool. I also saw some people complain about the character Rey. People have been claiming that she's a Mary Sue, which I completely disagree with. Like, yeah, she always has solutions for the situations that the characters get themselves into, and yeah, she does appear to always win in a fight, but that doesn't mean she's an indestructible character like so many are claiming. I mean, half the film she wants to go back to Jakku so she can wait for her family to come back for her, even though they're obviously never coming back. It may not say it right in your face, but this shows that Rey has trouble letting go. Then when Maz tells Rey that she has the Force and all that, Rey refuses to accept the lightsaber. She's afraid of her own power, and she just wants her old life back on Jakku. She's afraid to move on from the past, which is another character flaw. There's 3 flaws right there. She has trouble letting go, she's afraid of her own power, and she's afraid afraid to move on. I can continue finding character flaws, but I don't want this video to drag on forever. The point is, just because a character can problem solve or is good at fighting, doesn't make them a flawless character. And the guy that started this whole Rey is a Mary Sue thing is a scriptwriter named Max Landis. Some of his past achievements are Chronicle, American Ultra, and everyone on the internet hating him. I never really got the hate for him. A lot of people claim he's sexist or something. But I always just viewed him as really passionate about his work, which I can respect. Another complaint about Rey is that she got no training or anything, and then she basically destroys Kylo Ren. But it's actually not that hard to believe. In the original trilogy, there was never anything that said Jedi had to train all their life. That was just some prequel crap, which Disney is pretty much pretending doesn't exist at the moment. So that sort of explains why Rey doesn't need training to use the Force. But even if you don't excuse the prequels, then it still makes sense. I mean, Kylo Ren would never get any real lightsaber practice since there's nobody to practice with. And plus, before him and Rey began to battle, he was already shot and hit a few times after his fight with Finn. Also, we know nothing about Rey's past, so who knows? Maybe she's from some Force bloodline, or maybe she was in Jedi training with Luke before Kylo Ren turned to the dark side. That's what I really like about this movie. How there's still so many questions that will probably be answered in the sequels. Like, who was Rey's family? Why did Kylo Ren turn to the dark side? Is Luke like, okay? You okay, bro? Will Finn start to train as a Jedi, or will he work with the Resistance? What's Poe's backstory? Is Captain Phasma actually a cool character they're just saving for the next movie, or does she just suck? Who is Snoke? Maybe he's Darth Plagueis? Is he really as big as he is in the hologram? And most importantly, why was C-3PO's arm red? Luckily, they're releasing some comics and books to explain some of these important questions. But I have a feeling that most of them will be kept secret until episode 8 and 9, and that excites me. Leaving some questions unanswered isn't poor storytelling, it's just leaving some intrigue so you'll be interested in seeing the next movie.
Ben, come with me.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. No, please. Father always said he was the chosen one. I never believed him. But now I know! I was Father's favorite, not you! Father always loved you more. But I was his favorite! I was the one who was going to restore peace and order. It's broken. I am the one who will bring back the Sith.
You're the Jedi.
I'm done. This is over. No! No, Rock! Fall down, damn it! Plot twist. I'm invincible.
No!
Oh, God, dang it hurt.
Well, after watching that, I think the Force needs to go back to sleep, am I right? Yeah, so I need to finish the review on this microphone because I forgot to hit record when I was filming the last clip of the review. So anyway, to all the people that didn't like this movie, I think this clip from Jake Baldino's review says it all.
If you thought The Force Awakens was bad, or you really didn't like it, I don't want to be that person, like, are you really a Star Wars fan? But are you really a Star Wars fan?
All in all, I loved this movie. I mean, I cried 3 times throughout the movie, which doesn't happen often to me. I cried at the opening credits because I've never seen that scroll on a theater screen before, and it just really moved me, I guess. And obviously I cried when Han Solo died because he's always been my favorite character, and seeing him die was like watching my childhood die. Even though I knew Han was gonna die since I got it spoiled for me, it still really affected me because it's such a well-made scene. The last time I cried was when Rey found Luke Skywalker on the island. I mean, the scene was perfect, probably the best in the entire movie, and in my opinion, probably the best ending in the entire series besides Empire Strikes Back. I liked how the scene took its time. It showed Rey walking up the steps and just let you take it all in. Then, when she gets to the top and the binary sunset theme starts to play and you see Luke Skywalker for the first time in 30 years, it's like seeing an old friend. That's when I knew that Star Wars is really back. Yeah, this movie is a complete product. It's really not art or anything, but I've never felt so much passion behind a product. I mean, Abrams and the rest of the crew really went out of their way to make this movie the best they could, and it really shows. Just by watching it, you can feel the love everyone who worked on this film has for it. That's something that's missing in so many blockbuster movies today. This is going to sound like the corniest thing I've ever said, but the secret ingredient to filmmaking is love. Oh god, I'm cringing so hard right now, that was awful. If the director, or the writers, or the actors, or the composer doesn't love the movie they're working on, it can still be good, but it's sort of cold. It's pretty hard to explain, but I guess the best way I can explain it is just to ask you to do something. Watch this movie, then watch a Marvel movie. Any of them. I think if you don't get what I'm saying right now, you'll definitely understand after doing that. After processing it all and reviewing it in detail, I can easily say that Star Wars was my favorite movie of the year, and probably the past few years. It's one of the best theater experiences I've ever had, since everyone in the theater was just so excited about the movie. So yes, Star Wars has returned. And it's returned with a bang, baby. Oh yeah.